How does a loss of a player like Chara impact not only this organization but others as they prepare for the Boston Bruins?
Well, you know how big of an impact obviously Zdeno can have with Boston. You know, he's one of the top defensemen in this league, both offensively when he's at the net front in the power play and defensively the way he kills penalties and plays 5-on-5. So it's obviously a big loss for their hockey club, but saying that, it's a gain for the Toronto Maple Leafs for Saturday. But we can't make this about one player. We know how good Boston is and how deep they are, so we have to respect that.
How much do you look forward to your first taste of Boston-Toronto on a Saturday night?
Yeah, you know what, I've heard a lot about it, obviously through Gregory Campbell and you know, being around Gregory for a number of years. So it's exciting. It's a great rivalry. Obviously, I've seen the highs, I've seen some of the valleys, and it's exciting to be a part of. But one thing we do know, these are two hardened hockey clubs and two clubs that play with passion, so it should be an exciting game.
I kept hearing about the need to go 4 lines, and yet with 7D, that's kind of taken that kind of out of the equation. Is that a bit concerning that you're relying still on 3 lines for most of the minutes now?
Well, again, you know, it's about finding wins, it's about finding chemistry, and, you know, obviously we'd like to play 4 lines and have 6 defensemen, but, you know, we have to do what's best for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we get together as a staff and we try to put the best group together we can each night. So, you know, saying that, we understand the importance of our 4th line. We've got an abundance of skill and we've got an abundance of size down there. It's just a matter of getting it out every night. But I think when you look at Holland, when you look at Fratton, when you look at the guys that we have down on that line, Richard Panik potentially, you know, there are a number of guys, Carter Ashton I had last year. So we just need to find that chemistry and make sure that you know, they can contribute on a nightly basis.
Steve, we just heard that there's going to be a coordinated, I guess, tribute to what happened earlier this week between you, the Leafs, the Habs. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty emotional night tomorrow night. What are you expecting? Yeah,
well, probably emotional, Mark. I think, you know, obviously being very close to that incident, you know, I think it resonates with all of us here that we're a part of that. And, you know, we're hockey coaches and we're hockey players, and what we do pales in comparison to what these people do every day that serve in our military. So it'll be respectful. It's the proper thing to do. And I'm sure everybody in our city and the cities that are going to be part of this will feel the same way. But it definitely puts a lot of things in perspective with regards to what we do for a living. And we're an entertainment industry. What those guys do is not entertaining. They serve our country and they give us the freedom to do what we do. So we very much appreciate that.
Bit of a fun drill at the end there. Do you think after 2 spinoramas, a skate, you could hit an empty net with a slap shot from a distance?
I could not. I would be dizzy. So, you know, it is fun. And it's nice to see us lightening the mood a little bit too, because of the pressure that we know that we deal with here. So it was fun to obviously get a practice in this building. I thought that was great, and to finish it with some fun and see the way the guys come off the ice, that's important.
Steve, when the power play doesn't work, is it a matter of just checking the tape, or how do you kind of...
Yeah, we have to reset. We've got an abundance of skill in our 2 units. We know that, but it's about sharing the puck. We've talked about the pre-scouts. We know teams are going to pre-scout us just the same way we do against them. So it's a matter of going back to basics and getting pucks to the net and simplifying it. And I think sometimes when you have this much skill, they can try to get a little bit too cute or a little bit too fancy sometimes. So it's resetting. We've talked about using that word and getting more pucks and bodies to the net, and hopefully having a little bit of puck luck. You need a little bit of that on your power play too. So, you know, I'm fully expecting we'll turn that around. And obviously, it's not always about scoring. It's about getting momentum. We've got to get momentum if we don't score in our power play.
So you have assets on the blue line that can get the puck to the net in both units?
We do, and we know that. And it's a matter of them not feeling compelled to pass the puck back to the half wall. They know they've got the freedom to get the puck and use their shots to get it to the net. So that's something that we've spoken about, and you'll hopefully see that here on Saturday night.
How big are face-offs tomorrow, given what Boston can do?
Yeah, they're good. You know, it's not just our centermen, it's our 2 wingers jumping in and helping out on those face-offs as well. So all 3 guys have to be on their toes, and if there's a 50-50 puck or a puck line there, we want to make sure we arrive to it first, because we know how hungry they are. We've got to match that.
Is the plan still to go with 7 defensemen tomorrow night?
Well, we haven't discussed, well, we've discussed it, but we haven't made any final decisions. So that's something that Randy and we'll get together and discuss that. But, you know, it's about fielding the best 20 that we can. So it's something we haven't fully wrapped our heads around yet, and we'll discuss it and make the best decision.
Steve, you talked about Chara being out. Has it been your experience in hockey that when a team loses someone as important as him, that at least in the short term they tend to buckle down and play some good hockey just because everyone steps up their game?
There's no doubt. You know, you harken back to minor hockey. When you had a cold, you seem to play your best games when you were sick. And you know what? It's no different. When teams have a hole like that, collectively they seem to know that they've got to step up and try to fill that void. So we know how passionate they are. We know well coached they are. So I'm sure that it's going to be a void in the long term. We just want to try to exploit it on Saturday. But we know how deep they are, and I'm sure that that's going to be a tough task, but we're looking forward to it.
You
Steve,
don't
the
practice.
Kadri line is playing well, but not producing the offense expected. What's going on there in your mind?
Yeah, again, you know, we've tinkered, we've moved Daniel Winnick in and out of there, and we need those guys. I think Joffrey and Nas would be the first guys to admit they've got to increase their production, but they're working harder on their game, and again, we need them to get some pucks through and get pucks to the net, Kevin. But I think it's going to come because they're working hard on it, both on and off the ice. It's just a matter of finding some results, but I can tell you it's going to come sooner and later because we know how important those guys are to our team.